As INFJs, we are one of the rarest MBTI personality types on the planet. I don't know about you, but I'm actually tired of caring more about other people's well-being than they care about my well-being. And that's why this year, I've decided to fully accept my personality, and yes, most of the time, to avoid people. Here are the reasons why. Number one, overwhelm from emotional energy. As INFJs, we're highly empathetic and we can deeply feel the emotions of others. And when I'm out in the world, most people just have bad energy. And I can actually feel it. Most people are just angry, unfriendly, and rude. And I even get this at normal, everyday places like the grocery store. A lot of times, I just want to get in there and get out. A lot of times, I don't even take my sunglasses off. Incognito. And constantly absorbing these negative emotions, it can be really draining. I mean, really, for us INFJs, it's literally like absorbing small amounts of poison to be around negative or mean people. And don't even get me started on liars. As INFJs, we see through liars so easy. And then on the other end of the spectrum, sometimes us INFJs, and every INFJ knows this, we meet these people who want to unload their entire life story on us. They want us to listen to all their problems. TMI, dude. And honestly, absorbing someone else's problems, it's just as exhausting as dealing with the rude people. And drama. We'll talk about that more later in the video, but a lot of people bring drama with them. And dealing with that drama, it's just not worth it. You know, it was a sad and scary time, but there was a time during the pandemic where there was also kind of a sense of peace, where everybody was staying in. And then after that was over, we had to come back out. And after that, I was just kind of changed. I was a lot more reclusive. And honestly, I don't really see that as a bad thing. Anyway, spending time around negative people, negative emotions, or negative energy, that can be really overwhelming for us as INFJs. And I've decided it's just not worth it. So now, I do not feel guilty for staying away from these people. And I feel fine going back to my safe apartment where I can recharge and where I can get away from all the negative vibes. Number two, the INFJ need for deep connection. As INFJs, we definitely value deep, meaningful connections, and we feel frustrated or unsatisfied with shallow, superficial interactions. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm against finding someone who's deep and who's on my wavelength, because I'm definitely not. In fact, I am wide open for it. But I think every INFJ knows that finding someone on our wavelength is kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. And while I used to pressure myself to go out and to be social, and I even used to try to change myself to be more like other people and to engage in shallow relationships, I no longer do this. Now I just avoid these shallow people altogether, and I don't feel guilty for it. That way I can spend my energy doing the things I love, like researching obscure topics. I like just being at home, listening to educational podcasts and videos, and just being at peace in my solitude. And just because you're avoiding annoying and abusive people doesn't mean that you have to stay inside all of the time. It's really good for us INFJs to get out of the house for a couple of hours, at least a few times a week, but it's fine to do it on your own terms. Consider going out to a local park to take a walk. There are so many things that you can do. If you want to support me here at the INFJ Circle, then consider subscribing or becoming an INFJ Circle Gold Club member. The link to the Gold Club is in the description. The truth is, I don't need a lot to be happy, and I think most INFJs agree with this. I don't need crazy, spontaneous things or a lot of people in my life in order to have a good life. Being introverted and staying away from most people, that's actually nothing to be ashamed of. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and fellow INFJ, said the following: "Remember that very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all in yourself, in your way of thinking." Now I actually embrace my solitude, and I'm actually proud of what many people out there might consider a boring life, because it's not boring to me. And I avoid all those people who want to put down my life or make me feel weird for being an introvert. Number three, I have a no drama clause. INFJs are pretty conflict averse, and we tend to avoid situations where there may be tension or disagreement. And since most people absolutely love tension and disagreement, I'm constantly on the lookout for drama queens and drama kings. Most workplaces are full of drama queens and other energy-sucking vampires. But it's not only work environments, it's also almost all other places as well. Even family can drain an INFJ if they cause conflict. So my solution, if I feel that I'm getting into a relationship or a social situation that might lead to drama or conflict, I enforce my no drama clause. Basically, I throw down the gauntlet right there and I avoid these people or that group from then on. Then I get that situation or that person off my mind. Drama and people who cause conflict are never worth it for an INFJ. Avoid these people at all costs. Number 4, the INFJ's need for solitude to reflect. Us INFJs are introspective by nature, and we have to have time alone in order to process our thoughts, emotions, and experiences. We value our alone time because it helps us make sense of the world and our thoughts, which is essential for our personal growth. It's kind of like cocooning, so we can birth some kind of idea butterfly. Is that a weird analogy? I'm good at those. And this alone time, it's also vital for our sanity. I'm just telling you right now, as INFJs, we simply must have our alone time. In the past, I've actually had many people in my life who didn't like the fact that I needed time alone. And usually these same people wanted me to constantly socialize. But nowadays, if someone doesn't recognize my need for solitude, I know that that person just isn't for me. I avoid that person and go back to drinking my coffee. Number 5, your mental health trumps all. If you get one thing from this video, it should be that your mental health should go above all other things. As INFJs, we can struggle with overwhelm and even depression when we fight against who we really are for too long. So embrace your love for solitude. Embrace your quirky hobbies and interests, and embrace the fact that you are an INFJ and you have a very special set of skills. You can see things that others can't, and you can understand and help people in ways that few others on earth can, and you are worthy just as you are. You don't need to fit in with a bunch of people who you don't even like anyway. The answer here is to be your authentic self and avoid all the people that don't appreciate the authentic you. You'll be tempted to use your amazing INFJ chameleon abilities to mold yourself into what others want. But don't give in to that temptation because it never works long term. Never feel guilty for being who you are and for enjoying the things you enjoy. And never feel guilty for not enjoying the things that most of the herd enjoys. Just be your awesome INFJ self and let the chips fall where they may. And if you find someone you get along with, then great. But you shouldn't feel guilty about avoiding people that don't understand you, that abuse you, or that drain your energy. Believe me when I say, I know how hard it is to find like-minded people as an INFJ. So if you want to know how to spot other INFJs in a crowd, watch this video next.